Hi everyone, I'm back. I'll just wait a few minutes for people to start streaming in. I hope we get a few of us in the course joining in. Let me wait a while. I'm so glad to be back. I have been away in Tasmania for about 3 weeks trying to chivvy along the architect who is working on the mini retreat. As well, we went to Singapore for a wedding, and that was pretty fun, pretty cool. That was my niece's wedding. Kind of fun to dress up every now and then. And after that, I went to Chiang Mai with my brother, and that was awesome as well. My brother and I do hang out together. We get along very well. His name is Desmond. You might see him in the different groups. Hi, Amon. Nice to see you. And so we went to Chiang Mai. I'm just giving a backdrop of my last few weeks, and our apologies for not being able to do this last week. Hi Norma, how are you? Yay, people are streaming in. I've got 4 here now. Just giving a backdrop, I have been traveling. I am sorry I couldn't do this last week. It was like I was getting on the flight. Hi Christopher. And I just realized, oh my goodness, it clashes with the time of the live. And I kind of like to do this live because I get to see all of you, I get to wave to all of you, and I get to talk to all of you. So I super love that, rather than to film it and then just to pop it up. So I'm here, and I'm glad you guys are coming in. I'm so excited. I'm gonna pop this up in YouTube, so you don't have to really write notes or anything. And usually when you listen to these pieces, the more you listen to it, you do discover different bits here and there that become more and more relevant in your life, and also relevant at the right point in your life. So for those, when I pop this up in YouTube, I usually give a little introduction. My name, hi Janine, nice to see you. My name is Philamae, and I download from my higher self. I embody my higher self, and I write insights and I present it to everyone. And there is no name, so for want of a better name, I've called my higher self Phimo, for Philamae's mojo, and the I before the iPhimo is me in collaboration with them, because fundamentally they use my lens, and they use the way my brain is wired to download the insights. So everyone who downloads insights in the spiritual space tends to download it through their lenses, and the lenses have been a collection of experiences that shine a light in a different way with regards to your insights. So they're not right or wrong in any of these insights. It is our truth that we're wanting to share with people. So as usual, my higher self and the crew around them, never want to tell me things early. So I finished typing this. It's now 11 a.m. I finished typing this about 3 and 4 a.m. and printed it out then. So what they know of me is that I like to fiddle and over prepare. So what they do is they stop me from doing that by not telling me what it is, and come closest to when I need to present is when the download happens. So I have no time to even, sometimes to even reread the stuff I've got. So today is gonna be fun. Today is talking about your purpose, which is really relevant to all of you who have been through the journey to date. And the title that they've given me was Your Purpose. Don't get your knickers in a twist over it. I kind of like that title. And again, I write the title before I start the whole piece, so sometimes I don't really know what they're going to say. So without further ado, what I might do is I might get into it. And remember that with these downloads, they're almost 1 hour tutorials. So I'm just going to read it, explain bits and pieces if they need from me to do so. Saying hi to everyone who's joined in. Thank you for coming. Yeah. So I'm going to start reading the download now. We are loving that this is the topic for the day. And the topic is your purpose. Don't get your knickers in a twist over it. It is something that this one, and they pointed to me, this one has been had quite a journey on to date. They know that from the day I was awake until even now, I still ask, what is my purpose, guys? What is my purpose? And we tend to do this with every reading or every Q&A. We'll be asking, so what am I meant to do, you know? And even though I know so much about it, you know, I still ask that question. And what they want to do is help us not get all knotted up because of that, yeah? As you become knowing that you are to carry more light, and with the idea that carrying more light is part of your path going forward, one key force that drives your hunger is to get the answer to your question, what am I here to do? It's a question that follows, who am I and why am I here? The question of what am I here to do is what you call finding your purpose. It is a beautiful transitioning time with Gaia, and all on her back. And all on her back is evolving. Gaia has shifted energetically and so carries in her focus the fifth dimensional matrix or plane. Gaia in her construct has third, fourth, fifth dimensional matrices or planes and beyond. But in her focus, she is going through the process, or she has gone through the process, but she has in the construct these matrices as well. So Gaia in her construct has third, fourth, or fifth dimensional matrices or planes within her awareness, but she is shifting her focus and needs for all who are physically anchored on her back to come forward with her energetically and then physically. As you are all aware, this shift in consciousness of Gaia, with the direct help of Christ consciousness, especially Sophia Christ consciousness, is a shift that humanity and the unified field of consciousness have called for. And we are in the vibrational timeline where many have chosen to come to Earth to walk the path of aiding this ascension. The ascension of individual, the human collective, Earth's collective, is all of it. But this time around, as compared to the different times in the history, because there's no time, in the timelines of Earth, who like Atlantis and Lemurian, and where there was a want to ascend, this time is individual. In the past, it has been collective based. Okay, and that's why there are multiple paradigms of reality that it is going to split up into, because it's an individual process. Many of you have volunteered to walk this path, and from early 2013, many have been awakening to their calling. Their calling being their soul's plan for their part in contribution to the ascension. It sounds so big, so grand, so unfathomable. I wish there were right words I can pronounce. It does scare many who are awakened to who they are. So we know this is happening, and it really sounds amazing, but it sounds massive, right? We are wanting to talk to you today to reassure you that just your coming to Earth in this now time is enough. If all you do is to live consciously and manage your energy to keep yourself in higher vibration, then just that last now time, and then again to nudge it one step up, and then again to nudge it one more step up, you would have already done a lot for the cause. Ascension is a love revolution from inside out. I love this, right? Ascension is a love revolution from inside out. Your mission, if you choose it, is to stay happy, stay in the state of love, and release your resistance at every now time. This shift is a love revolution from inside out, and we want you to first focus on finding that space of love, that place of alignment with your inner self, with your higher self that's within you. When you begin to connect and embody your higher self, you begin to connect with the unified field where we reside. And they chuckled, we're here, you're going to connect with us. If we were to say getting into that state of love and staying in the state of love is your primary purpose, would that take the pressure off you? Yeah. We know Philamae would be relieved, because for her, that comes naturally. Equally, we want you to release yourself of the unknown, big, hairy thing for some of you are struggling to identify. By releasing it, you are more likely to happen on your mission or purpose as you have defined it. Okay? So by being all tied up and worrying and every day asking yourself, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Everyone's doing so many things already. What am I supposed to do? That is going to tie you down. That is going to block you. So by staying in that state of love is the way to let it happen onto you. Yeah. Your mission or purpose is that point in every now time that you express your love most authentically, most vividly, and most joyfully. Yeah. So at every now time, ask yourself, are you most happy in that choice or in that trajectory? And as importantly, are you enjoying that choice or trajectory at every now time in your getting there? If you are not loving that happy space you're in, and you're not loving it every moment, and as it unfolds, taking the next step and loving it even more and being in that state of love, it won't easily unfold for you. So that's why they say the primary purpose is get into that state of love and to go within. Yeah. What is your purpose? What is your mission, you ask? From where we stand, and they're going to define it for us. From where we stand, your purpose is to bring your light in at this now time of transitioning, because your light carries codes that will contribute to activating aspects of Gaia and those on Gaia. So your purpose is to be born. Easy, right? Your mission is to embody light and stay in high vibration, because a light worker is a light bearer that anchors in light in this now time of ascension. So your mission is to achieve that state of love and joy. For some, the word is through healing. Okay? So you see, you are enough, right? You are doing beautifully, and as beautifully as you can. We appreciate this and we love you for this. Anything more that you do is a bonus that we are not expecting from you, but we will also be delighted by, as we are already delighted by your existence in physical 3D life. This is so loving. What they're trying to say is, your purpose is to be born. Your mission is to stay in high, joyful, loving vibration. Even that is enough, and they are delighted by it. Any more that we do, which we define as our purpose and mission, is a bonus that they will also be delighted by. But know that you are enough, yeah? We are wanting to give you a perspective so you understand that there is nothing big and hairy you need to be doing, and the doing will come when you are grinning like a Cheshire cat at every now time. So here's me asking that. Phil, they showed me image. So as I was saying to myself, they were showing me an image of a Cheshire cat, and I kept asking them, are you sure you want me to say that? I said, you don't sound like a God spark saying that. So anyway, they said, on that point, Philamae grins like a Cheshire cat at almost every now time. When she forgets, she has her long list of things to do for her avatar's mission, her human's mission, which is the mission defined by me, right? So when I forget that list of all the things I need to do, I am smiling and happy and bubbling along. Okay. When she forgets the mission and her human's definition of a mission and gets playful, she is in the state of allowing, and that is when she is doing most work for her soul's mission. Yeah. When she chatters on about the vision of a mission to another person, what it is, and how she feels about it, okay? Not about the steps to get there. She glows with excitement and passion. Yeah. When she does that, she's laying another energetic layer onto her manifestation canvas. So staying happy and vibrational, and if you have some ideas, just thinking happily about it, you start layering, the paint on the canvas, one layer at a time, in the energetic space, right? What they're trying to say is, when I think about the things to do for the mission, what my soul thinks, what my human self has defined as this mission, I bring myself down to 3D vibrationally, and I start worrying about things. But when I'm just chatting about the bigger picture, I get all excited. And that's when I'm doing most of my work, because I'm creating an energy that is drawing either co-creators in, or the actual activity in itself. So back to the perspective we are wanting to share with you. Many of you are knowing this is an ever-expanding unified field of consciousness, and your current life is one expression of an infinite number of timelines, all coexisting at the same time. You are a multi-dimensional being, putting focus on this one expression. When you believe you are on a spiritual journey, essentially you are focusing on this one expression in this now time, especially focusing on the doing. You have infinite timelines where you are less awakened and doing the less awakened stuff, and you have infinite timelines where you are more awakened, right? And doing the doing of the activities in your more awakened timeline. When you vibrate higher, you can access the timelines where you are energetically more expanded, and vice versa. So if you vibrate lower, you're going into timelines that you're less awake and less expanded. And we flip in and out of timelines, right? So you have a different version of missions. You have different versions of missions and purposes that you're experiencing as a multidimensional being. In some timelines, you have simpler missions. In some timelines, you have more complex missions where you're working in co-creation with other light bearers and other light workers. Some simpler missions are more aligned with you and your gifts, and therefore are more successful from the way you feel about it. Some are not and are less successful. Same goes for complex missions. Some are more aligned, some are not. Some are more successful in the way you feel, and some are not. The key point is this: where you peg your vibration determines where you will end up, which timeline you'll end up. Okay. Manifestation is the calling in of a timeline in a manner where one crosses seamlessly into it without being conscious of it, where you go into another version of your current reality. Yeah. They want me to show you, there are many realities, and this one is further out, maybe more complex, more bigger. This is where we are. We are sort of calling in timelines till we get the timeline that we're vibrating at, where we're pegging it at. So they want me to show you that we are jumping timelines, yeah, in terms of manifestation. Your vibration at any now time literally calls that timeline towards you. So whilst your human avatar sees it as a manifestation in your current life, what essentially happens is that you have seamlessly eased into another version of the current reality, the version you're calling in. Okay? The reason we want you to relax, right, is that when you relax and just focus on what makes you happy, your vibration will take you to the next timeline that is more energetically expanded than the last. Your job is to stay in high vibration, look at what is unfolding around you by staying present, feel into what resonates with you in terms of what is unfolding before you, and just take that one next natural step. So always stay in that high vibrating space, right? When you stay in a high vibrating space, you're calling in different realities. Stay present, feel into what you're seeing around you, whatever makes you happy. Walk into that step, take that step, because that is your next natural step. That's how your higher self and your crew is telling you where to go, right? So that's your next natural step. It's the place of bliss. It's the place that makes you happier. Yeah. When you are relaxed and not all tied up worrying about what you have to do because of what you want to be, you are in the state of allowing. The manifestation of your purpose and mission becomes effortless. In no time, you'll be doing light work that taps into your bliss effortlessly. The challenge, sorry. When you relax and find your joy and happy, you essentially jump into a higher vibrating timeline. And the part of life that gets you happy and excited is your path. They chuckle, at least for now. Okay? Because, my dears, there is only the now. So what they're trying to say is, when you jump it in, it's the right path. That step is the right path. But only for now. Don't get attached to it, right? The challenge when many awaken is that they feel the hunger for wanting to find the light bearer or light worker path. And the first thing that they do is to look around at the teachers, healers, and practitioners around them. Around them. When they are at the start of their path, comparing themselves or comparing yourselves to others drive you immediately into doubt. This doubt can be debilitating and can take years to address, right? Every seasoned light workers and light bearers, like the teachers in this group, right, continue to look around to see what others are doing and whether they can do what others can do. When they do this, they stymie their unique gifts because they are choosing to see their future in the context of other people's flares, not in the context of their own flares and gifts, which at that point may not have unfolded yet. And so they see themselves as flawed or lacking. So this is where we become unstuck. So I know you guys are on a journey and you're already picking up skills along the journey. What they're trying to say is don't look around you and start comparing, because we all have this unique signature and this unique thing, right, that we need to be easy about as it comes in. When you start looking around you, the first thought, and it's human nature, is to say, where am I at now? How am I doing? I'm not doing as well. Know that, when you look at others around you, there will always be people who are doing what you think is well or better, and there will always be people who are unawakened who are not doing as well as you. So there's no point actually looking around. But the problem is when you look around, you go outside of you and you're not actually bringing in. You're not staying present and not staying in that happy place because you're creating doubt, right? And you're starting to think that you're lacking and you're flawed. And they don't want us to do that. They want us to stay in our happy. Okay. So often in Philamae's first few years of doubting, we will remind her to stop looking around her. We knew her state of mind well. Of course they knew my state of mind well. They see everything. But she acknowledges that she's a successful consulting in the business bowl, but couldn't for the life of her see herself as anything worthwhile in this light work space. And that's truth, by the way. She did often wonder how she ended up here. She felt at times it was a misstep taken by us from the other side. And they said, God misses a step? Nah, chuckle. I did actually ask my first intuitive where I got a reading, and they said, oh, this is the second intuitive. This is recruitment. You've signed up for this. The first intuitive. They said you're here to be creative, to do art that will inspire, and art can come in many forms. And I said, I think you got it wrong. I told it to you're talking about my children and my brother and everyone around me. You're not talking about me. I'm sure you're not talking about me. And similarly, when they said, oh, you're an early indigo bringing the kids, I said, no, I think you got it wrong. I think you're talking my kids. So I have always thought at the start that it was a misstep, right? And they're saying, no, it's not a misstep. Everything is as it should be. We had to, through intuitives, remind her that we have recruited her because of her avatar skills. Because at that point, I always thought, I'm not good enough in this space. I've got all these skills, but this is, I'm really not great there. But what they wanted us all to know is where we have been and what we love in where we have been is all a part of our our creative expression going forward, what we would call, what we humans would call our purpose and our mission, right? Right. Their definition of purpose and mission is much higher and more often in terms of observation. We say purpose and mission in that we think we've got this big hairy thing to do, right? But what they're saying is that everything we have gained up to this point in our human self, our avatar self, is part of that mission. The suffering and pain that we've been through causes a rise in an insight, in an understanding of us, a particular space, and therein lies our pathway to creatively expressing in that space. Okay. So let me read that again. We had to, through intuitives, remind her that we have recruited her because of her avatar skills. Because within her avatar skills, when expressed authentically, lie her joy and magnetism. When she is in joy, she embodies her higher self, and when she embodies us, she brings in her enigmatic persona that attracts her audience. I wish you had the right words I can pronounce. Every lightworker has an audience unique to them. You have yours. Your audience will show up informally or formally when you are ready. Yeah. We are wanting you to know that when we say that each of you are unique, you are indeed so. You have, if you choose to put focus on it this lifetime, the ability to bring through a unique version of healing. By that we mean an ability to raise your own vibration or another's vibration, right? Your unique version of healing is your creative expression of love in this revolution. You have the ability to choose the shade of grey in and around your version of healing. It's not black and white. It's not something that thing you need to do. It's shades of grey as we get there, right? It's not black and white. It's not black and white. It's not black and white. What? Let me start again. It's not black and white what it is, and nothing is really set in stone. There is no right or wrong gig. There's no right or wrong gig for you. There is no right or wrong time. So we need to really ease up on it and stay a lot more relaxed by it, right? You also have the ability, if you choose to apply yourself to many different spaces of healing that have already been established by others. So what they're saying is you have your unique version of healing that you could bring down, but they're also saying that if you don't want that, that's cool. If it's too scary, just don't worry about it. There are all these spaces that are established that you can also join in, okay? There is no one purpose that you have to constantly worry about trying to figure out. So what they want you to do is relax and stop worrying about trying to figure out what the purpose is. And remember, they defined it at the start. The purpose is us bringing activation codes, and our being born is already serving a purpose, right? And our mission is to stay high vibrational. Our humans would define our purpose as something more 3D, what we are meant to be doing here, right? In a physical way, okay? So what they are saying is there's no one purpose we really need to worry about. Just stay in that high vibration, and they'll explain how to find that creative expression of yours that's unique to you. And if you choose not to follow any tried and trusted healing path, that is, that you're choosing to, they said, opt out of light work, and they're putting this in verticals because you're not really opting out anyway. If you're choosing to opt out of light work, we are wanting you to know that if choosing to make an elderly person smile, or choosing to rescue a kitty and making that kitty a part of your family, or choosing to daydream happily every moment of every day, these expressions of healing and love are also a part of the revolution. Okay, the love revolution, which is what ascension is. Ascension is the raising of frequency by individuals within a collective, and raising can be in any form. Every way we consciously choose to live ourselves or another is contributing to the shift. Ascension is a love revolution from inside out. As long as you remain beautifully and deliciously and connectedly, which is connecting to your inner self and heart and to the unified field, and connected deliciously and connectedly joyful and loving, that is your primary purpose. Anything else is icing on the cake. Okay. Can you imagine if 10% of light workers and light bearers and light workers around the world, which is the percentage of us, of all of us, right, helped one other sentient being to become happier each and every year, right? Which we all just help one, yeah, every year. Over the course of a few years, ascension will essentially be what humans call, it will essentially be in the bag. We would have done it, right? We remind you of the inspired line, he ain't heavy, he's my brother. So it's for us to actually lift someone else and lift ourselves up, right? And stay in that happy state. And the old Confucius saying, teach a man to fish rather than rather than feed the man a fish, right? So if we know how to be happy, and if we know that vibrating high is the way to go, and it serves their version of definition of purpose and mission, then we would just teach someone to be happy and help someone to be happy. Just one person to touch per light worker per year, okay? But we understand the hunger you all have to make a difference in the light space. So whilst we're advising that you are all already on purpose by just being incarnated, by being who you are, and by managing your vibration, what we are essentially saying to you is that we want you to start your purpose, which is the human definition of your purpose, by feeling that all of you in this now time, every bit of you, that you are enough. They say start there. You need to start to feel that as of today, we are all enough, right? We are all enough. When you feel satiated by your adequacy on this front, then you can get into bringing in other timelines with pathways that can be more expanding for you. So you need to feel really good about yourself. You need to feel that you are already enough, that your coming here has done the job. Once you're feeling really happy about this, then it will unfold for you more naturally, right? Until you feel the love for yourself, that you are enough as you are, you can't easily proceed to the next beautiful version of yourself. Start with loving yourself more and more. Start each morning saying, what a beautiful light I am. I'm here to master my version of love today. And that's all. Start today saying, what a beautiful light I am. I'm here to master my version of love today. When you begin to operate in the space of unconditional love, and by that we mean in the state of love, and that no condition can alter that, then we would say start playing around with the ideas that seem to be flowing through you. So when you're in that state of love, you will start getting inspired thoughts, right? When we are in this, around the ideas that seem to be flowing through you, when you are in that space of unconditional love, you are connecting with your inspiration. Ideas will flow through you like the breath that flows through you when you are in the state of love and alignment. Yeah. Again, at this point, many can get their knickers in a twist. We love this phrase because we wear no knickers, you see, and you do. Chuckle. Many trip up when first inspiration comes in, right? If you are in the state of love, it will come in a big technicolor vision, or many different technicolor visions, because you are in love with life, you're in love with you, and your eyes twinkle with wonder and wondering, right? Wonder as in WONDR and wonder as in WANDER, right? And because of that, when you're so much in love, your ideas are big and in technicolor, okay? Just know that when that happens, the practical, rational side of your brain kicks in. And the ego will, of course, tell you it is impossible, right? God forbid, and they're chuckling here, God actually doesn't forbid, it's free will, but they said, and it's a phrase you guys use, God forbid it gets worse for you when you tell others about it. Many of you are awakened beings operating in a context where most of your family and friends have yet to awaken. When you tell others of your technicolor visions, you are likely to face naysaying. We would advise you that when you are first inspired by visions, keep playing with them in your mind, right? Tell yourself there's no harm dreaming big because it is only in your imaginings. It is only in your imaginings. It can't harm you. And so it may as well be big. If you need to share with someone because you are so excited by it, share with an awakened person to start off with, yeah? Right? Because anyone who is not awakened may not actually get where your heart is or what the vision is about. When you share with someone who is awakened, start off the conversation with, I'm just playing around with inspiration. I'm sharing this with you because it's fun. We don't need to evaluate them. Let's chat to dream about them as if we can. So let's just chat about it. Let's play with it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Have many visions, have many big dreams, and play with them. Do go to iPhimo by Philamae Grace YouTube channel on Dream It Big, peeps. We have said you have many timelines with many possibilities. Your playing with them is essentially your feeling into their resonance. So when you're playing with the visions, you're actually feeling into it. When you spend time feeling into your resonance about each one, the path of the highest excitement will reveal itself to you. And that path is your next natural step, right? The vision you saw may not be where you end up, but it is a definite stepping stone towards what we call our creative expression for you. It is a definite stepping stone. You are therefore timeline hopping towards that reality, right? Which you are choosing to call in. So your next natural step is what you're calling in, then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And then you will you will end up with a space that you will be expressing your creativity within, right? In this Lightworker space. The thing with playing with your vision and dreams and playing hop, skip, and jump on the stepping stones is not to get attached to any of them, especially in the earlier stages. When you get attached to them, you trip yourself over because you create expectations around them, right? We would imagine if William or Chico or Philamae were to have shared with their awakened friends what their visions were in the early days, they would have been talked down because, you know, it might be impossible, it might be big, it might be scary, we might be putting our families, finances, we might, up there, to be swept away. There are a lot of scary moments when you're first dreaming it big and at the start, because at that time there's no network or connectors that will help reassure you that it is going to happen. So you need to be more playful about it and not worry about it at that stage. And we're sharing with people, just be very playful about it at that point. Yeah. How they got to where they are at have been the seeding of their visions now for some time. For me, for a few years, I've been just thinking about it, and it's still unfolding. Philamae constantly preempts Stephen with, just playing, but what if we did this? Or what if we did that? Or what if we got this? Or what if we got... So her mind is constantly playing with thoughts. Also playfully, Philamae imagines everyone that resonates with her may have a connection with her. She would often ask herself, is she or he a part of my mission? And then cheekily she'll say, let's see what happens. And so she'd dabble in mission chats. You see, it's mission chats, it's not actual stuff, it's just chatting about it, and watch their facial twitches for evidence of resonance, right? Many collectives are coming together to co-create on an expression of love that will raise the vibration in this shift. You are all in spiritual groups, and you're in this course. You'll find that some people you resonate with immediately For those, we would advise reach out, go have a chat. You don't know what will come from it, right? Don't have any expectations. Chat about what makes you happy in this space. Ask them what makes them happy in this space. When you are in tune, you will know when you click in with another. It's almost instantaneous. The Ascension is meant to be a fascinating time where co-creation brings out the best in collectives whose members have incarnated together to tango or to do the rumba together. Right? We would also say, don't limit yourself. As with Philamae's example, she playfully imagines herself anywhere in the world in her daydreaming, and she goes there just in case there's something there. We've taught her well to pass the reins to us, basically. Chuckle. The tutorial, they had to train me into sort of surrendering to their thoughts and then just going to check it out. Right? The tutorial really is this, is to say this: hey folks, you guys are doing great, and we know you're at a place on your journey where you're more seriously wondering where you fit into this jigsaw puzzle called Lightworkers and their roles in the Ascension, right? We are wanting you to know that there is no finite jigsaw puzzle that you have to fit into or comply with. It's an infinite and dynamic co-creative space, a fluid space, and we can even say in its creativity, a playful space from an observer's standpoint. The more you connect with your higher self and your team, the more you will discover how you will impact the space in your unique way. A key point here is that the traditional ways in the lightwork space are not the only ways your love can be expressed in your light work. The more you can stay in high vibration and stay in connection, right, the more you can hear your unique love song in this revolution. I love that phrase, your unique love song in this revolution. Be open to your difference and be easy with its unfolding, and don't get all knotted up over it. Right? We would like to leave some time for questions and answers, so we are signing off now. Again, reminding each and every one of you to live life more lightly and more lightheartedly. As always, yours, iPhimo. Okay, so that is the tutorial for today. I hope you've got a lot out of it. It is about finding your purpose, but not getting your knickers in a twist, right? And they've given you tips about how not to do it. And at the end of the day, what they're saying is we are adequate. We are enough by just being born and by just staying in high vibration. Anything more is a bonus. And what we call, right, our purpose and mission as an avatar, what we need to do in this light space as a human being in this light space, right? They're saying it's a creative expression, and they want us to keep it fluid, and they want us to think big, and they want us to play with it and not get all knotted up and worried about it, because as you play with it, you are calling in the next step, and you are calling in the next step. So if anyone has a question about this or about anything, feel free to ask. I might scroll up and down to see if there are any questions at this point. Sorry, they tend to like to write tutorials. Yeah, I might try to do some live one on another day. So hi to everyone who's here. Okay. Thank you for the thank yous. I appreciate that. It is what makes me come back to share insights that I download, and I will put this clip on the wall and I will put it in YouTube for you to go back to. As I said earlier, there are quite a few clips up there. When you listen to each one, get a cuppa, because it is an hour long of insights that come through in and around a topic. And when you listen to it, you get different aspects of each tutorial each time you go in. You will know which one resonates with you, given the title. So I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm just going to say thank you to everyone for being here. And I might actually do a Q&A on another time. It's now probably past an hour. And hope to hang out with you guys and get some Q&A going. Okay guys, cheers. Bye.